Hello all you YouTubers, I am the Zion Zeus, and I just thought I'd make this particular strange NEO, which is Near Earth Object YU55. And obviously most of you guys know that I did a lot of reporting on the phenomenon, which was L-Lenin, which is ELENIN, which is, you could say, is 11/9, and that the strange things that happen with that particular comet, and I put that in quotation marks because that still has a lot of things to explain. So with YU55, I start looking at this a little bit closer, and some of the information out there is that it'll pass by the Earth tomorrow into 11/9, and there will be no impact. It'll bypass the Earth. However, one of the things that I'm looking at is the trajectory of it. It's going to pass this direction, right past here. And last week I made a video saying that they had all of a sudden announced that's 3 times bigger than what they believed, and there's certain models saying that the moon should be here at this phase. If we have a look at this moon phase calendar, we'll see that the moon should be, they projected the moon to be here, more in a more in this kind of phase. Tuesday, November 1st should be looking like this. So then YU55 would pass this side because it's closer lined up with the Earth. However, as we can see from 7, 8 and 9, and even into the 10th, from the 7th to the 11th, the moon is becoming full, which, to have a full moon means that it's more to the right of the Earth because it's getting the full light of the sun. And as a new moon begins, it means that's directly behind the Earth, and then it comes out from behind the Earth, and that's where you get the next phase. But as it moves in, that's where you get your different phases of the moon. And from the 7th to the even to the 12th, the moon is full, which doesn't really add up to what they were saying. They were saying the moon should be in this phase, getting ready to go behind the Earth, and this particular NEO would pass like right here, this side. But yeah, if the moon's full, that means that's more in the trajectory of this particular asteroid or NEO. And if we look at that, we can see on November 8th at 1950, which is 7:50 p.m., is when it's meant to actually bypass the Earth and go towards the moon. And what they were saying was that the moon should be more here in this phase, but yeah, it's more out here. If we look at the 8th, which is November 8th, tomorrow, we can see that's moving. Let's look at the 9th, and it's moving. So we can see that it is going to be more to the side right there. So hopefully they got their calculations right, and this particular NEO doesn't fly right in here, bang, and hit the moon. Because if it does, that would cause a lot of tidal changes, gravitational changes. It's unprecedented what it would cause. And if we look at the 10th, it's getting lower, and there it is right there. But again, it still hasn't changed. It's still a full moon, still the same time. Actually, let's fix the time here. There we go. At night now, during the night, it's getting higher. So, and we go to the 11th, and it's getting lower now. Let's have a look at our phase. So we can see that it's definitely going to be a full moon. I want to just kind of bring your attention to this. Richard C. Hoagland set out first pictures of YU55, and does not look like at all like a typical asteroid. And YU has an interesting geometry. The side facing the satellite telescope that captured it looks like hemispherical or saucer shape, similar to the blinking craft that's seen in the famous NASA video of the broken tether experiment that drifted away and was surrounded by ice crystal UFOs. And that's according to NASA. let's have a look at these are some of the cleaned up images of this particular YU. That's one the image, and then this is how they cleaned it up. An artist kind of rendering what they could pick up from the picture. That's a very interesting rendering right there. Here's a couple of more pictures or images, and that looks like a very strange near Earth object. Look at the hole in the middle. So this is a YU-55 mirror image, some photo enhancement done by Robert D. Morningstar, and I think that's great what he did. We look at this too, and again we see the hole in the middle. This is YU-55, and it looks like they tried to get closer in here on the right side. And let's have a look at this last image here we have. And again we have the hole in the middle, and it definitely looks pretty big. So it's just some information I thought I'd put out there, because as I began to look into it and see that some things didn't quite make sense or add up correctly. The trajectory is very strange, and a lot of things seem to be falling within this week. And if we look at a lot of the drills that are taking place, we have Pacific Wave drill that's going to happen on 11/11/11. We have on 11/9 the emergency alert system notification. They're going to take over all the communication channels on 11/9. And we look at just let's say, for instance, hypothetically, even some tread hits the moon and it causes an impact or something. If you study the moon, and if you have the scope and stuff, I have a pretty good scope, and when you actually look at the moon, you can see major craters. The moon has definitely been hit before, and that debris has to go somewhere. And the fact that the Earth is the nearest object to it, it wouldn't take that much of an impact to have something hit the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean and cause some waves or have some strange gravitational pull. It would definitely start to affect people if the moon got struck, because the moon is what keeps the oceans in balance, and the magnetic pull of the Earth in balance with it. So people would start to feel a definite change, maybe an awakening of some sort. Possibly it could happen, and it all seems to be falling within this time frame of 11/8 to 11/12, that window. So it's just something to keep an eye on. And there has been a lot of drills being set up in the Pacific, and someone had this a target up near Japan, Alaska, as a target. However, who knows? But I just thought I'd bring this to your attention. There just seems to be a lot going on this week, with a lot of different exercises, and you also have this flyby too. There's a movie out called Melancholia, I believe it's called, and it's a very strange movie from start to finish. I watched it. It's not in the theaters yet, so I got to sit down and have a preview of it. It's quite it's just a very strange movie. There's a girl in it who is very attuned and psychic, and gives out little messages about what could happen. Doesn't really go into detail, but gives out small messages here and there. And then you have the other people that have been fooled by the scientists and by certain bodies to say that nothing's going to happen, everything's fine, there's not a problem. You can dismiss anybody talking about this thing, nothing will happen, everything is fine. And then 2 days before it, news reports start to leak out that maybe everything isn't going to be as fine, maybe we need to get ready for this. And a day before they're saying, oh no, don't worry about it, it's going to go away, it's going to fly by the Earth, and we're going to see it, and it's going to come around and just disappear, and that'll be the last time we see it. However, the day of, it doesn't, not only does it not fly by, but it becomes huge, and basically eats the earth. It takes the earth with it. So and before it actually impacts the earth, people start feeling very different. They start to see that the world around them doesn't really mean anything, or the usual regular things, the day-to-day things, doesn't really mean anything, because the life you're living, you have really no control over it. What you can do is just be aware of signs that are being given at this time. And I do think that Elnan was the first sign, and that the super intelligent that's up in the solar system right now is sending out more scouts, and I believe that YU-55 is another scout, to take data on the earth and see how we're doing, and to make some judgments if this planet is worth saving or is worth allowing to continue. Have we reached that place of enlightenment? Have we begun to really treat each other with more understanding and more caring and giving, or is everybody just out for themselves, and it's all about, I have a bigger car than you, I have a bigger house than you, I have more money than you? Is that what it's really all about? Or are people really going to take the time to have a look at the planet and do something about it? Because maybe time is running out. Maybe the judgment will fall on the earth and everybody on it, because nobody really cares. There's so much power hungry people now that the cause of the planet has gone to the wayside. The oceans are awful. The rainforests are being torn apart. People are in such a heightened state of hysteria of, oh my god, what happened on TV? Oh my god, who did this? Or, oh my god, what did you see in the magazines? But yeah, the planet around them is dying. The planet around them is dying, and nobody's taking note. Well, maybe that's the message. Everybody needs to take note and come together to bring about a change on this planet before it's too late, before time runs out and the scouts report back. Because I do believe Earth is worth saving. There's so many good people on this planet. All we all have to do is just come together and show the light on this planet. That it's not a planet of darkness, it's a planet of highly enlightened human beings that are willing to do something different. So hopefully anybody listening to this video hears the message within it and gets energized by the message and starts to get a message out there that we as a race, as a human race, need to do something as a unity consciousness to impact and change this planet to a time and a place where it used to be in harmony and balance. I am the Zion Zeus. With that, I leave everybody with always kind regards.